TWM podcast.
We have just come off one of the more interesting matches in the history of the WWE, and SmackDown has a new Mr. Money in the Bank. That is right, Otis. Is he going to cash it in as soon as he can? Or is he going to wait and bide his time? Also, we have a competition to crown a new Intercontinental Champion starting tonight. Hey there, it's Tom, and it's time for some Smack Talk, running down all things from last night's SmackDown. This is a TWM podcast bringing you wrestling context 6 days a week. You can get us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Acast, Spotify, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube, and anywhere else where podcasts can be downloaded. And TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bars, showing you the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats so you don't miss a thing. Obviously, right now, all those places are closed, but they are still doing some fantastic content over on their app, so make sure you go and check it out. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK, and check out welovesport.co. And TWM podcasts have also joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly wrestling subscription service, to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at wrestlecrate.co.uk, you get free items for 3 months. As simple as that. As simple as 1, 2, 3. This month, they've got a fantastic offer. Be quick. You get stuff from Seth Rollins himself, the Monday Night Messiah. So go to wrestlecrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to 3 free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM. And alongside me today to run down all things SmackDown, we have Rhys. Rhys, how are you today?
Tom, pleasure to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Bit of Matthew Mahogany, even though he has nothing to do with the wrestling, you know. Yes. Right, let's get into last night's episode of SmackDown. So we kick off this episode of SmackDown with an episode of Miz TV with Miz and Morrison, and he brings out the new Mr. Money in the Bank, which is Otis, and I'm pretty sure none of us, honestly, watching Money in the Bank or in the lead up to it, even thought Otis had a chance of winning it.
No, he was definitely the outsider. Like, you thought they'd included him as a bit of a wild card, like to add a bit of comedy to what was, you know, a match that had a lot of comedy in it. Definitely didn't see that happening. Big surprise, but I'm here for it.
I mean, yeah, I'm judging on this episode of SmackDown. I was really impressed with how his narrative kind of went over. So we get Otis. He comes out. He's not waiting for an introduction. He's riding high on cloud 9 after winning Money in the Bank. Never actually climbing a ladder, we'll say. It kind of fell into his hands. But the thing with this promo, it focuses on Otis's weight throughout, and that's something I think is never going to go away. We're always going to be getting people making fun of Otis's weight.
Yeah, which is kind of annoying, really, because Otis he's a good athlete. Like, he's very, like, he's big, but he's very muscular. Like, he's very strong. He's clearly like a well-conditioned athlete to be a WWE superstar. I don't really get why they do this, because if they're sort of poking fun at, you know, the weight of a WWE superstar, surely that brings everyone down, because it's saying, well, the standards must be pretty low then to be a WWE superstar. They're not really selling just how much of an athlete these people are.
You could say, I mean, some WWE superstars such as Miz or Morrison should be a star, maybe. But I don't know. But the fun thing about this is Otis is embracing it, though. It's not getting him down. He's actually embracing it. He's like, yeah, well, look at that. I think the kids' photos, they got me. He was like, yeah, look at those calves.
Yeah, I think that definitely sold as well with Otis. It's not just a character that he's playing, like, that is who he is. And then with those kids' photos, you can see that's just the way he's been from a very early age. So I think Otis comes across as very genuine to the fans, and I think the fans really connect to him because of that.
Yeah, that's why I think this kind of a like a meteoric rise from just a nothing tag team on NXT to a nothing tag team on the main roster to suddenly getting a random storyline with Mandy Rose, and now everyone is cheering for this guy. Everyone is wishing this guy the best, and it's ended up with him basically having a golden ticket to possibly being Universal Champion in the future. But we basically go through, like I said, photos. This is your lifestyle photos until Miz completely loses it. He's like, you know what? You're not taking this seriously. You missed the Money in the Bank. Take it properly. Take it seriously. Take it properly. And it challenges Otis to a tag team match. And this one little point, Tucker isn't there. Now, from what I've heard, they just want to push Otis now as a single star, and they're basically getting rid of Tucker, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that would be a shame. I've seen a couple of people sort of speculating, like, oh, what if Otis cashes in the Money in the Bank on the tag team titles? Like, it's never been done before, and I don't know if it's something that is allowed to happen, but I mean, it's WWE, where they seem to rewrite the rules depending on what fits the situation at the time.
Yeah, I've seen that going around, and for me, it's just, if that happened, it would completely ruin the concept of Money in the Bank. And the Money in the Bank is supposed to be something that elevates a person to the main event. And if someone decides, oh, just a tag team title, no, screw off, get lost. But yeah, so
I think the only way I could see that working is if the story with Mandy, you know, kind of continues, and there's some bumps along the road, and they end up breaking up, and then it gets to a point where Otis is on his own, and all he's got is the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he realizes all along all he ever needed was his friend Tucker, and that's when he cashes in. But yeah, I guess that's kind of a very specific scenario there.
Yeah, that would be lovely, but again, I think it just takes away from Money in the Bank. You want to be the champion of the company or the brand. I mean, that's what Money in the Bank is. Just to go, oh, just have the tag team titles. Mate, if you're in a tag team, you get a shot of the titles every 3-6 months anyway, the amount of time it goes around. But yeah, so basically Otis doesn't have a tag team partner, so he's going around SmackDown. First of all, he asked Sheamus, and I was just thinking, well, is this just because Sheamus was backstage at the time? But we all know that's not going to happen. And then we get Otis and Mandy together, who offers the suggestion of asking our Universal Champion, Mr. Braun Strowman. Now, I don't know about you, but for our theatre buffs, English, GCSE students, or anyone really who has gone to school in the UK, Mandy Rose is really coming across as a Lady MacBeth here, leading Otis into all his decisions.
Yeah, and I think Otis was also the downfall of the King in King Corbin at Money in the Bank.
Yes, very true. But so, I mean, if you, he obviously goes and asks Braun, and we find out later on in the night, yes, Braun does decide to tag team with him. If you were Braun, would you do it?
I don't know. If it was me, I'd probably be pretty lazy and be like, well, if I'm not booked, I don't really want to have a match. I'll just take a night off.
And that is why you are not a wrestler.
Yeah, true.
I keep in mind, like, obviously keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. And at this point now, Otis is an enemy in the eyes of Braun Strowman. He's got that guaranteed shot and can pounce at any time. So
yeah,
I mean,
I think maybe. So I was just going to say, maybe like Strowman is not underestimating Otis, because he probably doesn't see him as much of a threat, and probably rightly so, but there's a threat of being in the ring at the same time as Otis, especially when you've just feuded with Bray Wyatt. I mean, the Fiend could have popped up at any moment, completely wiped Strowman out, and Mr. Money in the Bank would be there in the ring at the time. So I don't know if that's maybe a bit of naivety on Strowman's part there. Very
true. But yeah, so we get to the match, and Braun obviously decides to trust Otis and goes out. And it starts off with quite a bit of gyrating from Otis before he pancakes Morrison in the middle of the ring, tags in Braun Strowman, and we get a double caterpillar with one of the worst caterpillar attempts ever from Braun Strowman. I will say it's more like jumping press-ups.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah. So half this match probably was taken away because of the break. I found there was a lot of breaks in the middle of matches last night. But we get back, we have Miz in control of Otis, running knees to the corner, followed by a jumping clothesline, double axe handle from the top, the most devastating move in wrestling, the double axe handle from the top rope. We get it kicks to Otis, and then Morrison gets the tag, but Otis hits a lovely double suplex, tags in Strowman, and he basically proceeds to destroy Miz and Morrison. I mean, at one point, they end up out the ring, and you get the Strowman Express barreling around the ring for Morrison to just go, nope, jump over the barricade, leaving Miz for the taking.
Yeah, nice shot.
That was a lovely little spot. I think one thing we've seen, I'll mention it every week, that Morrison is one of those who is really embracing not having a crowd there, embracing the fact that, yeah, you can hear everything I say, and I'm going to make money with it.
Yeah, and I think this is something I noticed as well with a lot of the people wrestling on SmackDown who used to be indie wrestlers. Like, they're probably much more used to wrestling not in front of no crowd, but in front of a much smaller crowd. So, maybe working in front of no crowd works a bit more to their advantage. Yeah,
I mean, we've been in that situation a lot of times where we've been in a room with 100, 200 people. So everything a wrestler says in the ring, you can hear. You can hear anything. I think one bit for me was, I think we were in the barn in the Frog and Fiddle when Volta decided to turn up randomly to the surprise of everyone to challenge Flash Morgan Webster. And Flash basically went, yep, I'm dying tonight. And it was picked up because it was such a small room, but hearing these little comments from wrestlers is really adding to their personalities a lot more than having a screaming crowd, which is the enjoy. I mean, I miss the crowd, but still, that's a great thing that they're able to do at the moment.
Yeah.
So Strowman's back in the ring, goes for the running shoulder in the corner, but Morrison saves his partner, and Strowman eats the ring post. Morrison attempts to build up some steam, but then out of nowhere he gets the power slam, and the Universe Champion picks up the win. So we get Braun and Otis celebrating in the ring, and what do you know it but Mandy MacBeth comes out to the ring, and Strowman's a bit distracted, and then you get from behind Otis just thinking, just putting it down, just ready, starts gyrating, gets ready, but Strowman turns around and sees him, and he's like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Just Josh, I'm not going to do it tonight. It's fine. And Braun actually goes, okay, I believe you. It's fine. And I think that's something that comes across great with Otis. He could do these little jokes. Like any other wrestler, you'd think, oh, God, no, they're not joking. He got caught in the act. With Otis, you're kind of like, you know what? He probably was. He's probably an honest guy.
Yeah. You kind of wonder then if they're going to become, a bit of a team going forward, and then I can only see it ending up badly with Strowman eventually turning on Otis. I kind of wonder as well if obviously Strowman defeated Wyatt, but you got to wonder if Wyatt has got into Strowman's head a bit, and now if he's a bit more paranoid than he should be. Is he worrying about nothing? Yeah,
that could be a great thing to see, the fact that the effects of Bray Wyatt and Braun is now, do I get close to people? But I think that dynamic between Otis and Braun is going to be really interesting going forward. I think
definitely. When they were... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, obviously, we said last week about the little comedy bits we get with Strowman sometimes in his promos, especially when he was going against Bray Wyatt. But I think with Otis, it does work, and Otis will kind of relax Braun a little bit. Braun will still be able to be a monster in the ring, but he'll be able to show a lot more of that personality now, and I think that could work, but it can't last for too long.
Yeah, like especially with it doesn't seem like there's that many different stories going on at once. I was going to say with the Mandy, the Otis, Sonya thing going on, but that seems to have almost split into two separate stories at this point.
Yeah, I think that the other side of it and obviously we'll talk about it in a bit. Well, actually no, we'll talk about it now. Sonya cuts another great promo backstage with Dolph just staying silent. I mean, where has this Sonya been all this time? But obviously I think
Mandy Rose in shadow.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think that's coming to an end now. So we're going to see, I think that storyline is kind of going to break off in the next couple of weeks. And I think it's a natural end to that storyline as well.
Well, they're having a mixed tag team match next week, so that could be possibly the big blow-off.
I think that's going to be the blow-off for Otis and Dolph being involved, and then they could just cut to Mandy and Sonya having a singles match at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that would be cool.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
TWM Podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM. Also throughout the show as well, I like to call this, all these little segments called Sami Got Screwed. Because Sami Zayn has been stripped of the Intercontinental Championship because he doesn't want to come to work and obviously risk his health because of everything that's going on, so he can't be champion anymore. And we've got ourselves a little tournament for the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm not going to lie, these 4 matches to start off, obviously we had 2 this week, 2 next week, they've really partnered up these guys well. They, for once, they've gone, right, even though they're having a storyline, they'll meet in the final. No, they've gone, right, let's just get the storylines out of the way straight away.
Yeah, I was thinking all the first round matches seemed a little convenient. You know, the Corbin and Elias, the Gulak and Bryan. Like, it didn't seem very random like a tournament would be. I kind of felt like
I liked it though.
Very intentional. Yeah.
I liked it though because because then with the winners it wasn't too obvious who was going to win. Because usually when they do these tournaments, so for example, say they had they mix it up, but if they both won their matches, then Braun and Elias would have met in the next round, for example. We don't have that. We've got these things coming out straight away, so they could do whatever they want. It was like, well, we don't need to fulfill a storyline here. Let's put these 2 through instead.
Yeah, true.
And also we get this. Now I don't know what the name it is. I don't know, the brand to brand acquisition, extension, trade-off, switcheroo thing again that worked so well the other year.
Let's just call it the wildcard rule, even though it's definitely not the wildcard rule, but
I mean,
yeah, for lack of a better term. Yeah,
well, obviously we're going to get that in effect with this competition with AJ Styles, but at least there's actually a reason for it. It's the title he has not won in WWE.
Oh, is that the only title he's not won, is it?
I believe that's what they put over. They were saying that AJ hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, they putting over this fact that AJ hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. It's the only title he hasn't won in the WWE. But we start off the competition with a great match. Well, it was actually okay. It was Elias v Corbin. And first of all, I want to say they've given Elias music and it sucks.
Do you know that music he used to have, when he was back on Raw the first time, where it was just the guitar chord and then some silence and then it breaks out into the solo. Like, that was a great theme. I don't understand why they've changed it. Like, his theme isn't as good as it used to.
Yeah, it used to be more him coming out. It was just the guitar chord, and then he would come out himself, and it worked perfectly. Maybe because they haven't got an audience, they think it doesn't work as well, but it's more generic music. But yeah, we get that, and we get Corbin out as well. Elias is on top to begin with. He has various chops, kicks, until Corbin gains control, and we get the normal slow pace from Corbin being on top with rest holds galore.
Yeah, I guess just, I don't know, padding the match out a bit.
Well, this match was 16 minutes long. It was the longest match of the night, which is crazy. Wow. They did show a better showing than they usually do. I will say that I was more impressed, but someone else said it as well. I think it was Wade Keller. He said that at times it just felt rehearsed. It felt like a rehearsed match.
Yeah, I mean, these are two people who are very much, on the sports entertainment side of the spectrum, as opposed to the more
the complete opposite that we get in a bit.
Yeah.
So we get big moves, including a no-effort splash to the outside of Elias. He literally just fell. Corbin takes control on the outside, rolling Elias back into the ring, and then starts to mess with the guitar, which infuriates Elias. And ad break. Great point for an ad break. Ugh. But anyway, let's skip to near the end of the match. Corbin hits a nice spine buster for the 2. Corbin hits a choke slam for 2 as well, and then straight punches to the head of downed Elias. Then Corbin again gets the guitar and smashes it against the ring post, which again enrages Elias, and Corbin gets back in the ring, jumping knee and a roll up for the 3 count, and Elias advances, which I was surprised by. I thought Corbin was the choice to go forward in this one.
Yeah, you'd have thought Corbin would definitely have been one of the favourites to, go on and win the tournament. You know how much WWE rate him. They, regard him very highly. So, yeah, I'd have thought he'd have won. So it's a pretty interesting. But, I guess maybe the strapping for a rocket on Elias.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, considering who's involved, this is probably, out of this round of matches, this was probably going to be the weakest match of the 4 matches. But, I mean, again, it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be, and I have to give the guys props for that. And then we get the second bracket match of the night, and it's Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. It's, we'll say wrestler v coach is the way they were putting this over. And I love this match. I loved it. We started off with a technical mat-based wrestling, and when I say started off, it basically stays like this for the whole match. Both of the guys going for submissions. You feel like you're watching a match that is just in the style of one good old William Regal. It's just methodical. What do you think?
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, certain wrestlers have had more experience wrestling in front of smaller crowds. Like, these are 2 perfect examples of that. So, but when they're wrestling, you don't notice at all. You're just so engrossed in what's going on in the ring that everything else you just completely forget about. It was
so fluid as well. There was everything. It just looked like they didn't have to put any effort into it, which was lovely. I mean, we had things like standing switches with Daniel Bryan being dumped to the outside. Both guys went for their submissions and really struggled to get it in. Got some, even with the headlock. Now, we could talk about Corbin doing a headlock and it'd be counted as a rest hold and you would be bored watching it. But this, when the headlock was applied, there were so many different angles from it coming out. It was the struggle to get down, or the struggle to keep it locked in, for example, and getting back up, trying to reverse the headlock. And that's the difference. You can have rest holds, but you need to make it look interesting, not just sit there for about 20 seconds, just a little bit of wrenching.
Well, yeah, that's the big difference, really, I think, between someone like Corbin, who, learned to wrestle when he was in WWE, against these guys who have been wrestling for, decades before even reaching WWE. Like, the experience there.
Exactly. So I mean, we get some beautiful things in this as well. I mean, when, like I said, with the headlock, Daniel Bryan hits 3 shin breakers and then hits dragon screws, focusing on the leg. We get some lovely suplex work, and a lovely moment as well was Daniel Bryan going for the running knee, but Drew Gulak rolling under it and hits a lovely sunset flip, which is brilliant. And all the different pinning combinations. It's something that I know trainers down at Dragon Pro Wrestling, Mike Hitchman, or former trainer Mike Bird, they'd be watching that just applauding. And then we get some more pin attempts. Drew locks in the Gulak, so the obviously his version of the Dragon Sleeper, but Daniel Bryan rolls through and tries to yes lock, but we get more pin reversals again, and then we get a modified Dragon Screw, really focusing on the ankle, and then he locks in the heel lock, and we get the submission win. Just an amazing technical match, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I think if Bryan wins the title, I'd be happy with that. Did he give an interview after a match, or was it before? Yeah, he had a promo in the middle of the ring afterwards, and really putting over the fact that the Intercontinental title is the workhorse title, and all the oldies, all the greats, this is their favourite title, because this is okay, being the WWE champion, yeah, you're the face, but Intercontinental champion, you're the one who works every night, who does who wrestles the most, and he really put that over, and it was a great little face promo, basically saying, I want to be a champion, I want to be the fighting champion. Yeah, and I mean that was the plan initially. It was years back at WrestleMania when he won the title and then had to vacate it not long afterwards. So I guess going back to that and just doing what he originally intended. Exactly. Okay, so we get some, obviously in our other things, we get the NXT champion Charlotte returning to SmackDown, basically kind of promo saying her normal stick of being the best. I mean, there was one thing here where she points out that she's blonde. Why does that matter? Oh yeah, because Vince loves leggy blondes. Yeah, they've become quite self-aware in some of these references. Definitely. But we get Bayley and Sasha coming out, but the narrative here for me is that Bayley's trying to say, right, you've been away, but I've been champion, I beat you for the championship, and Charlotte's just there going, yeah, she gonna talk, Sasha gonna say anything. Sasha goes to speak, oh no, Bayley just talks over her. You can see Sasha really getting annoyed. Yeah, I think it's we say every week the tension between these two has been bubbling under the surface for some time, and maybe Charlotte's just trying to drive that. Well, maybe she sees what's going on and she's trying to drive that wedge down. If it's going to come to a point where some combination of these are going to feud, I guess it's in Charlotte's advantage for Bayley and Sasha not to be on the same page. Yeah. But I don't know if that's the way they are going with that, or if this was just a one-off appearance. Yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to build to a match between Charlotte and Bayley. I think we know that. I think it was said in the segment, but it's going to be interesting what Sasha's role is going to be in that case. We get another women's match. We get a women's match on the show. Dana Brooke picking up a very quick victory against Naomi. Yeah, I was pretty surprised with that, but well, we got to remember, Dana beat Naomi to get into the Money in the Bank match, didn't she? Yeah, and when the Usos were off lately, and Naomi took the time off as well, so they were all off together. I kind of wonder with the Usos being out now, whether Naomi's thinking of doing the same again, taking some more time away to be with them. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, but yeah, Dana Brooke won with a quick roll-up. We get another Hacker promo, but this time everyone on the screens in front of him. So does this mean we're actually going to see him soon? I hope so, because I don't know how many more of these promos I can put up with. And at the start it was something new and exciting, but it seems to be repetitive, pretty much the same thing every week, and there's not a lot of development seems to be happening with it. So I'm kind of hoping they reveal either that they reveal it soon, or that the story progresses a bit more and just something actually happens with it. If it starts affecting more different storylines, such as how it did with the Otis, Mandy, Dolph, Sonya storyline. But obviously the hacker was the one
Otherwise-
that revealed that Sonya set it all up, for example. So it's going to be... We need to see where this is going soon.
I just worry it's going to become Emelina Part 2.
Oh, don't. Oh, no. We get a Forgotten Sons promo, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Actually, no, it's not. Because this whole Lacey Evans ex-military, ex-army woman, yeah, she's a face. Well, these guys are basically the same thing. They're ex-army, ex-military in the USA, except they're heels. And I'm really confused by Fox on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Fox are pretty much known for their confusing stuff, but yeah.
It's very true. And is that all? I think that is everything we had. Oh, no. I just want to say, though, they did not do a Roman Reigns on Becky Lynch. They didn't hide away her pregnancy. Maybe it's to do with all the positive media coverage they're getting. Who knows? Okay. So that does it for this week's episode of Smack Talk. If you want to keep up with everything we do, just go to our social medias at TWM Wrestle. We've got stuff from WWE, NXT, AEW, New Japan, British wrestling, intercontinental wrestling, international wrestling, all the wrestling. We've got some great interviews coming up. Obviously, we've got past ones, and we've got future ones with some very special guests coming up. We also have great articles, for example, from James, where he discusses the PG era compared to the Attitude era. Or we've got a lovely book review from Shirley about the Bella's recent foray into the written word. Rhys, what is your social media for the lovely people out there?
As you can follow me at Rhys Teddy.
Excellent. And
I'm sorry, no, it's not.
I was thinking you've changed it. Yeah, you've changed it.
Sorry, I went on autopilot there. At Rhys on Wrestling.
Excellent. And you can follow me at TD Walton. Thank you for listening, and we will be back next week with some more Smack Talk.